up? Welcome to the only honest power ranking show anywhere. All those other power rankings people lie. They lie to you because they don't respect you. I respect you because I need you. Today, I will rank the 12 or so best teams in the league, and at the end, we spin this stupid, dumb, stupid wheel to see if it can recover after failing to curse the Bills last week. But first, we go to the afterlife. In heaven, I'm placing Anthony Richardson. He is in need of its healing light. May God's glory help you throw an accurate football on any throw less than 50 yards. Richardson has been benched by the Colts after becoming a passing chart meme and, of course, needed to take a play off because he was winded.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there.
I just turned 40, and I'm willing to bet my resting heart rate is better than Richardson's. He joins Bryce Young, drafted 3 spots ahead of him, on the bench this season. Will Levis has an injury, but he's kind of also been benched. At this point, I can say with all sincerity, I don't know which of these quarterbacks will go on to have the best career, or even a good career. Give me your predictions in the comments below. In a true heavenly move, though, the Colts' playoff odds have nearly doubled, with Joe Flacco being named the starter. In purgatory, the Detroit Lions, Babysitters Club, who haven't been able to keep tabs on Jameson Williams. An internal affairs investigation is underway to determine why Jameson Williams wasn't arrested for a concealed gun violation. In heaven, the police officer who did not arrest Jameson Williams for having a concealed gun violation because he's a Lions fan. Keep funding the police when they're fans of your sports team. Look, Jameson and his brother were pulled over. His brother was driving. They had guns in the car. His brother's gun properly registered with the right license. Jameson, not so much. But this could lead to his 3rd suspension, possibly, because he doesn't know what the rules are for anything, anywhere. That said, this is how you actually protect the community. Thank you, Detroit police. In hell, J.C. Horn. After losing to the Broncos, J.C. Horn was crying because he thought Sean Payton was trying to run up the score. Oh, bro, you're in the NFL, and if your feelings are getting hurt because the other team is scoring too many points on you, you might want to find a new career. May I suggest becoming a flaccid penis inspector because you're that soft? All right, starting at 12.5, Iowa football. Yeah, 12.5. Number 12, will someone from the NFC West just stop being weird? I actually think the last place Rams might be the best team in the division. None of you are worth talking about right now, and you're starting to annoy me. I can confirm reports that Christian McCaffrey is not coming back. No, not from his Achilles injuries, but from this Halloween costume. Number 11, I've got the Broncos and Chargers. These two teams are very similar right now. 2 great defenses that everyone wants to shit on because they have been dominating subpar teams. We're 8 games into the season. You play who you play. So my thought here is fuck off, haters. Bo Nix has 12 total touchdowns, more than any other rookie QB. He has more combined touchdowns than Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes as well. And of course, fewer interceptions than Mahomes. Nix has gotten better every single week. I'm optimistic about what I'm seeing, but I do need him to do the same this week against the Ravens before I baptize myself in Cherry Creek and become a full-blown believer. I believe you found us in a time of need. I'm close to converting fully. Mahomes, Nix, and Herbert each only have 8 touchdown passes this season. Mahomes, of course, has 9 interceptions. Nix, just 5. And Herbert, just 1 interception all year. Weirdly, it came against the Panthers. He and Josh Allen are the only 2 quarterbacks to start every game this season for their team and only have 1 pick. The air attack has started to come alive for the Chargers the last 3 games, and it won't happen. But if they acquired T. Higgins, I think they'd be a shoo-in to finish 2nd in the West. Like Denver, though, they need to prove this trajectory can continue against top-tier teams, but both LA and Denver are building on a strong foundation. Number 10, the Falcons. Maybe we can just get the Falcons to play the Buccaneers every week because those are some of the most entertaining games. Kirk Cousins would probably be MVP if that were the case because he's thrown 8 of his 14 touchdowns in those 2 matchups. The Falcons still have a major flaw. Their pass rush is absolutely ass. Just 6 sacks sacks so far this season. There have been 14 times where a team has had 6 sacks in a game in 2024. The Falcons really should have saved the NFL and traded for Josh Uche so the Chiefs couldn't have. But maybe they'll settle for Baron Browning from the Broncos. Here's the weird thing. Atlanta has 7 interceptions on the season, which is tied for 4th most. So they're probably generating more pressure than they're getting credit for, right? Yeah, they're 4th worst in total quarterback pressures. Way better than I originally thought. Still last in pressure rate and sack percentage, but whatever. Number 9, the Ravens. In a surprise move, well, surprise to me at least, the Ravens traded for Panthers receiver Deontay Johnson. Interesting move coming off a game where Rashad Bateman dropped a wide open pass because of the sun. If you recall, Deontay Johnson was very famous for dropping passes in Pittsburgh or making no effort when he wasn't involved in the play. Now, part of me thinks the Ravens made this move just to make sure the Chiefs didn't, which I respect. But after Andy Dalton took over, Johnson's production went way up. He had 34 receiving yards and no touchdowns in the first 2 games with Bryce Young. Games of 122, 83, 78, and 3 TDs with Dalton. Also, if he walks after this season, the Ravens get a comp pick. Hopefully he can play defense too, because the Ravens secondary sucks right now. They are way too easy to throw against, and it's something they need to correct immediately. The Mike McDonald void has not been filled, and if we're talking about how Bo Nix tore up the Ravens secondary on Monday, the Ravens might be in trouble. Number 8, the Vikings. And I love this family of Vikings fans and their Halloween costume. Probably not appropriate for your kids, Vikings fans, but I'd love to send you these shirts. Benchwarmershop.com. We dropped my birthday bundle yesterday. We have just 4 of the birthday bundles left, just 4 left. You get 2 bags of coffee and the new F the Refs mug available at benchwarmershop.com. Also, all the cursed logos you see here today available there in t-shirt form as well. Now, after losing standout tackle Christian Darrisaw to an ACL injury, Minnesota, who is clearly not effing around, added reinforcements by trading for Jaguars tackle Cam Robinson. With the emergence of Walker Little, Robinson became expendable and is in the last year of his rookie contract. He can prove they made a mistake, though, in 2 weeks when the Vikings and Jags play, or the Jags can prove they did the exact right thing. I'm more concerned about the Vikings defense, which has given up an average of 30 points in 3 of their last 4 games. Number 7, the Packers. The Pack continue to be one of the most entertaining and bizarre teams in the NFL, vanquishing the Texans on a game-winning field goal before needing another game-winning field goal to beat the Jaguars a week later. I am looking forward to seeing Green Bay host the Lions this weekend, a team that's beaten them in 2 of their last 3 matchups, although the Packers handled them in Week 12 a year ago. I think everyone assumed Luke Musgrave was going to be the Packers' tight end 1 this season, but the big story at that position has been the emergence of Tucker Kraft, who's had 5 touchdowns in his last 5 games. I actually drafted Tucker Kraft late in a lot of my underdog best ball tournaments this summer, and never have I been luckier. I mean smarter. I knew this was going to happen. Speaking of underdog, they are sponsoring today's show. We are 74 signups away from hitting 3,000. Use my code THATSGOOD when you sign up. The goal is to get 10,000 signups. You know that, I know that, you know that. And when we hit that number of 10,000 signups, Underdog owes me $1 million. When that happens, the future of this channel is secured for the next 5 to 10 years. That's the big goal. If I can re-up with Underdog, I think we can do some really cool shit here. Underdog is a great place to play daily fantasy. They've got tons of drafts happening now with the NBA. Tomorrow, Halloween, I made some spooky picks here. I don't think any of these are going to hit outside of maybe Garrett Wilson getting 79.5 yards or Tank Dell getting higher than 6.5 receptions. And even those are a reach. But if you want to play in the Pick'ems games where you stack player stat totals, add Underdog, do it with my code THATSGOOD, because I literally gave you the blueprint of what not to do for Thursday Night Football. Number 6, the Eagles. Philly, they've got a winning record, and they haven't scored a single fucking offensive point in the first quarter all season. A big reason for that, though, is they also didn't have a single turnover in October. They could be a top 5 team in the NFL when they learn to score touchdowns on, say, their opening drive. Coming in at 5.5, the Texans. After learning that Stephon Diggs tore his ACL, I decided to protect you from the curse wheel, Houston. It's literally the least I could do. Nico Collins should be back soon, and one thing the Texans are doing really well is generating pressure from Will, Mr. Anderson, and Danielle Hunter. That's a 1-2 masterclass in drafting properly and doing free agency properly. Something nobody on earth in their right mind would have said about the Texans just a little over a year and a half ago. 90 quarterback pressures between that duo alone. At this point, CJ just has to be thankful he's the only quarterback drafted early last season that hasn't been benched. Number 5, the Commanders. The Commies were a tipped ball away from suffering their worst loss of the season, but fate intervened and now they're sitting a half a game ahead of the Eagles in the NFC East. Looks like God wants communism to be the official government of America, doesn't it? Dante Fowler is on his 5th team in 9 years, but he's been one of their best defenders, leading the team with 4.5 sacks, plus a pick 6 2 weeks ago. Hell, even Cleveland Farrell has contributed, picking up a pair of sacks after being left for dead. Dan Quinn took a defense that was dead last in scoring a year ago, and now they're sitting at 10th in that category. Number 4, the Steelers. Not only is Mike Tomlin going to avoid a losing season for the 100th year, he might mess around and win 12 or 13 games. The Steelers are on their bye week right now, but after that, they've got 2 tough games against Washington and Baltimore. One of the reasons the Steelers are playing so well is they're complementing their second-ranked scoring defense. They've turned the ball over just 5 times this entire season, including just 1 interception, which came via Justin Fields. Najee Harris also running the hell out of the football, going for over 100 yards on the ground in each of his last 3 games. He is the second most important player on the Steelers roster. It goes TJ Watt, Najee Harris, and then Russell Wilson. Russ was sacked 4 times and fumbled on a run late in the 4th quarter. That's what held the Broncos back last season, Steelers fans. Denver, though, lacked a good run game, and their defense was not what it is right now. The Steelers might be good enough in those 2 areas to overcome Russ's issues. And like I said last season, Russ still has one of the best arms in the NFL, at least to all of the parts of the field that he can see. There's still an area he does not attack. I like Arthur Smith's play calling for Russ. He has a much better plan for him than Sean Payton did. And he doesn't hate him, so that helps too. Number 3, the Bills. The only way a professional New York sports team wins is if Josh Allen is in the stadium. Yes, he is the only reason the Yankees won Game 4. Also, shout out Bills Mafia. I was not aware of your travel game.
But hats off to Buffalo. They came in, they beat us at home. Their fans traveled well. It was real loud in there. It kind of felt like we were on the road at times. So
I think Amari Cooper just being on the field simply makes the other Bills receivers better. Keon Coleman has 195 yards and a TD since Cooper arrived. Khalil Shakir has 172 yards since his arrival. Coleman's touchdown grab was insane, but what I think is happening is Josh Allen is getting the ball to Shakir and Coleman in favorable matchups. The Bills' defense outside of that Ravens game has played really nice football. The Chiefs and Lions have each allowed 13 touchdowns this season total, and the Bills are at 8th best with 14. 5 of those TDs all came in their loss to the Ravens. The most important metric, though, for the Bills right now is that they are 1-0 versus the curse wheel. The only other team to do that, of course, the Chiefs. Coming in at number 2, the Patriots.
My name is Joshua Uche.
I'm just going to call you John. You know what would have never happened under Bill Belichick? The team trading a talented edge rusher to the Super Bowl favorites in the AFC. You dumb fucks. I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you if the Chiefs three-peat. The Chiefs' defense hasn't given up more than 28 points in 36 straight games. That's the longest active streak in the NFL, and the last team to have a streak that long, yep, the Patriots from 05 to 07. Eat shit, New England. This team didn't need any help. I hope Drake May sucks. I hope you fire Gerard Mayo and hire Josh McDaniels, and you keep missing on every single draft pick you select until Patrick Mahomes retires. You're a bunch of cowards, New England, and now you're at 2 with the chance to be cursed, you sons of bitches. Number 1, the Lions. How good are the Lions?
It's impossible, I think, for a defense to really stop your offense. It's really, there are too many weapons.
Even Belichick saying, nobody beats Goff. All right, let's spin the wheel. And yes, I really am going to leave the Chiefs off the power rankings altogether. I'm that fucking petty. All right, here we go. Let's see. Ow. Oh, that can't be a good sign. Oh, God. Things are getting wild. Things are getting wild. Oh, what are we going to get? Benchwarmershop.com. 9. Who'd I put at 9? It wasn't the Falcons. They're at 10. Who's at 9? Oh, it's the Baltimore Ravens, who happen to play the Broncos this week. Oh, please bring me the glory that be your curses. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports, the dumbest football channel on YouTube. Please subscribe here if you like being part of a dumb show.